Fáilte over fad go Chashlan Baile. Welcome to you all to Dublin Castle. But I just say that the Taoiseach and I have had a very constructive meeting with President Van Rompuy. We welcome Herman Van Rompuy to Dublin Castle as President of the European Council, to the first formal meeting in Dublin since our presidency commenced last week. We agreed to work closely today on the European recovery programme over the next 6 months, during what is our 7th presidency in our 40 years of membership of the European Union. We set out an agenda that we discussed, which included a reflection on the economic situation in Ireland, the question of the multi-annual financial framework, the banking situation, a growth agenda, and the question of trade. On the EU's future financing and the EU budget for 2014 to 2020, we agreed to work very closely together so that the constructive atmosphere that was generated by the President's chairing of the meeting in December can continue. Clearly, the President has a particular function in respect of calling the European Council together to discuss the MFF. An early solution here would be important because Ireland's presidency responsibility is to work then with the European Parliament. There are almost 70 pieces of legislation to be dealt with. We feel that many of these can mobilise the budget for jobs and growth through programmes in areas like research and the agri-economy and cohesion. We also spoke of our determination to promote economic growth through the high potential sectors like the digital single market, and to place a renewed focus on investment in research and innovation. We discussed the question of trade, its importance in a global sense, recognising that very significant elements of trade will increase outside the shores of the European Union beyond 2015. And we discussed in particular the question of being able to get a mandate to open discussions arising from the high-level report into the potential of EU-US free trade agreements. The EU itself has moved from crisis response to crisis management to stability, and now in 2013 we need to move on to a new phase of recovery in the EU. So tomorrow we will discuss a similar partnership with President Barroso when he comes here with his Commission colleagues to Dublin. I expect to address the European Parliament next week, as will many of my government colleagues over the coming weeks. There's a very intensive agenda for Irish government involvement over the next period.